At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Slade's the place for you!
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Good afternoon and welcome to Iowa Central Field here at Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, Iowa, home of the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. I'm Andy Pollock alongside Zarin Egesdahl, and in just a moment we'll have the matchup between North Polk and Adel DeSoto Minburn right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. We are starting here about an hour and 15 minutes later than what we were planning on today. Had a tiny little cell, the only cell in the state of Iowa, the only storm cell in the state, came through Fort Dodge this morning at about 10:30, shortly after the games had started, the first 2 games today, and led to about an hour and 15-minute rain delay, and that's why we're getting started here later. Delayed the 5A games, and they're going to try to get everything on schedule here throughout the course of the day. And they said we will have not much time in between games as they want to get the teams out here and get ready to go. And Zaranegasdal today, 2 teams here in North Polk and ADM who are very familiar with each other.
Yeah, very familiar. Both play in the Raccoon River Conference. North Polk won the conference there this year, a perfect 16-0, whereas ADM lost 3 times in conference play. 2 of those times was to the North Polk team. Most recently, these 2 teams played on July 10th, the last game of the regular season before they started the postseason. That was a 4-0 win for the Comets of North Polk. They've actually outscored ADM 9-0 in their first 2 games. The first game played on May 29th was 5-0 win for North Polk, and then the 4-0 win on July the 10th. So 9-0 North Polk over ADM in 2 games. But we've talked about plenty of times when it comes to the state tournament, you got to kind of throw some of those results out. It's a state semifinals. Whoever plays better today is going to play for the finals.
One thing that has remained constant between these 2 teams is great pitching and great defense. And IGHSAU for North Polk, future Drake Bulldog, has been absolutely outstanding this year. The runs are not easy to come by when she's in the circle.
No, absolutely. She is a phenomenal pitcher and just a junior, as you were mentioning. She has experience in these tournaments. I know North Polk didn't quite achieve what they were looking for last year, trying to get back to that point this year.
There you see the road to the state championship here for North Polk there on the right. They are 37-4 right now. They beat Western Dubuque 7-2 after a big inning in the middle of the game the other night, or on Monday night, 7-2 in those quarterfinals. IGHSAU, again, just 2 hits allowed. She strikes out a bunch, and she hit the big home run in the 4th inning. It was a 3-run bomb, and that's what gave North Polk the win there. On the other side of things, ADM has a pretty good pitcher in their own right in sophomore Laura Hagedorn.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Hagedorn, she threw the shutout, complete game shutout, only allowed 4 hits, and Hagedorn throughout the course of the year has been nearly unhittable as well. She is 18-6 and giving up just 1 run per game. So you add these up between these 2 pitchers, and we are looking at likely a very, very low-scoring game here today. We'll take a break here, and when we come back, we'll have your team introductions and starting lineups for this tournament matchup. You're watching Girls State Softball, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We'd like to thank you for joining us for the Girls State Softball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing state tournament. This tournament not only showcases Iowa's elite teams, but the athletes competing here today are among our nation's best and brightest. And Iowa's farmers are among the nation's most productive. Our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to recognize both, all while supporting and lifting up the Iowa girl.
With the help of the Iowa Farm Bureau, we celebrate students' efforts not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. The Iowa Farm Bureau is committed to your success and supports our organization and the Iowa Girl. Through millions of dollars they provide in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence.
As Iowans, we have a lot to be proud of. Whether you're a student competing here today or a fan tuning in, we all play an important role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations to your school on a terrific season, and good luck in the tournament games.
Number 4, Lauren Truster. Number 6, Addison Eric. Number 9, Kennedy Stanford. Number 10, Kenzie Maxwell. Number 12, Finley Shaw. 14, Peyton Taylor. Number 17, Aubrey Noring. Number 23, Alexis Maxwell. Number 24, Peyton Herrick. Number 26, Reese Vandenord. Number 28, Elliot Monroden. Number 30, McKenna Pitnick. And the assistant coaches, Chris Monroden and Brooke Hickey. Now let's meet the starters for the Tigers. Leading off, a senior, the pitcher, number 11, Cameron Smith. Batting second, a sophomore, second baseman, number 2, Macy Person. Batting third, a sophomore, the DP, number 8, Lauren Agador. Batting fourth, a senior, the first baseman, number 27, Kaylee Smith. Batting fifth, a junior, the left fielder, number 7, Maddie James. Batting sixth, a sophomore, the shortstop, number 16, Ellen Smith. Batting seventh, the senior, the third baseman, number 1, Olivia Wyatt. Batting eighth, a senior, the right fielder, number 13, Alea Johnson. Batting ninth, a junior, the center fielder, number 3, Aniston Solari. And the flex player, a senior, the catcher, number 5, Audrey Winter. Head coach for ADM is Lindsay Sandberg. Now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the visiting correction for the home North Polk Commons. Number 5, Kelly Edwards. Number 6, Jenna Manoff. Number 7, Audrey Lucas. Number 8, Jasmine Rasmussen. Number 9, Addison Fiore. Number 17, Jocelyn Manoff. Number 19, Alexandra Mulkey. Number 23, Jaden Ewell. Number 24, Isabella Bauer. Number 25, Larissa Coates. Number 38, Reese Smithy. The assistant coaches, Tracy Cleaver and Sydney Carroll. Now to pick the starters for North Polk. Leading off, the junior, the DP, number 21, Elise Engelbrechtsen. Batting second, a sophomore, the center fielder, number 2, Ava Kodelka. Batting third, a junior, the pitcher, number 12, Ava Husak. Batting fourth, a junior, the catcher, number 16, Lucy Lucas. Batting fifth, a sophomore, the first baseman, number 14, Tessa Dillinger. Batting sixth, a freshman, the left fielder, number 1, Maddie Cleaver. Batting seventh, a junior, the third baseman, number 20, Quinn Nerum. Batting eighth, a junior, the right fielder, number 15, Lauren Osborne. Batting ninth, a junior, the second baseman, number 10, Caitlin Cleaver. And the flex player, a sophomore, a shortstop, number 11, Peyton Westra. Head coach, Rick Dillinger. Ladies and gentlemen, our umpires for this afternoon's contest. At first base, Travis Chizik. At third base, Aaron Schmidt. And calling the balls and strikes, Jason Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for state tournament softball.
There you have it, the starting lineups for these two teams, and for teams that have the primary color of red, there's a lot of black in those uniforms. Both teams in their black uniforms here today. Red has been the color of the tournament for Class 4A, as we just got done watching Carlisle and North Scott, two teams with the primary color of red as well. And we had Western Dubuque in here and Dallas Center Grimes, so we've seen a lot of red. Both teams out there in black tonight, so we'll try to do our best to let you know who is what. It will be North Polk in the field first, as they are the home team today. It is a cool afternoon. It looked like it was going to heat up there for a little bit. The sun came out. The clouds are back in. The wind is blowing the ball foul in left right now. That's the direction that we've got it going. A pretty stiff breeze blowing it that way as well, so may come into play a little bit on high fly balls to the left-hand side of the field or anything in the infield as well. Around the infield, Ava Husak, the pitcher for North Polk, the junior, 28-4 with a .93 earned run average. She will play her college softball for Drake University down in Des Moines. Lucy Lucas completes the battery there. Quinn Nerum at third base, Peyton Westra at short, Caitlin Cleaver at second and Tessa Dillinger at first base. In the outfield, Maddie Cleaver in left, Ava Kadelka in center, Lauren Osborne in right. As we get things started here, due up for ADM here in the first inning, Cameron Smith, Macy Person, and Lauren Hagedorn.
One of the things I'm looking for ADM is you haven't scored a run against North Polk this year. So let's not, let's go station to station. Let's score one run. Let's get it in our minds that we can score a run on this team, and then from there we can build from there. I think that's one of the things that ADM's got to have in their mind. They know they're a good softball team. They're here for a reason. Let's score a run on this North Polk team.
ADM not a huge small ball or bunt and run, stealing bases type of team right now. So it's one of those, if you get those runners on, you'll have to take advantage of, at some point, you're going to have to take advantage of getting base runners on and try to push somebody around, and may involve getting yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit as you try to scratch one of those runs out. As we said, we expect a pretty low-scoring game here this morning. That first pitch from Ava Husak is a ball. Second one popped up behind the plate and is corralled in by Lucas for out number one.
And that's a really tough play because you got to navigate the umpire. You're running back into the stands. You got to kind of know your surroundings. Not a whole lot of space back to the backstop here in Fort Dodge. Does a really good job of composing herself there.
How about the footwork from our home plate umpire, Jason Lewis, veteran umpire back behind the plate, got out of the way, kept himself out of it as well. Seen Jason a lot throughout the course of this season. He seems to be at every big game. This is Macy Person. Person is batting .235 on the season. Sophomore in Coach Lindsay Stanford's lineup. Stanford in her fourth year as the head coach at ADM, 111 and 41. And Husak quickly ahead now in the count, 0-2, and I've got to reorient myself here. I've been over on the other field. I think you have as well. Or have you been on this field?
No,
you've been here. I've been naturally we're looking out to right field for the scoreboard right now. I have to change gears now. The last 2 days I've been looking out to right. Today I'll be looking out to left to find that. 0-2 count. Goes to the rise ball right away, and wow, there's a lot of pop on that rise.
Yeah, and for Person, more of a kind of a station-to-station type of batter, not going to have those extra base hits, but can get on base in one of those spots in the lineup where if you can get on here, you got 3, 4, 5 next to bat.
Easier said than done as Husak comes in with a high fastball for her first strikeout of the night.
Yeah, she's spinning it already, and obviously had a little extra time to think about the game and get ready for the game. Saw her down there working in the bullpen not too long ago and spinning it to start the game, which is a bad sign to be a Tiger.
Pitcher versus pitch-up matchup now as Lauren Hagedorn steps into the box. Batting .405, and Husak goes to her changeup for the first time tonight. Going to be a little careful here against Hagedorn, as Hagedorn, one of the leaders in Class 4A with a dozen home runs on the season.
Yeah, she can swing it. And a lot of times they say that the faster they come in, the faster they go out. She doesn't always have to use as much of her own power. She can use some of the power of that pitch from Husak as well. So sometimes, as long as you can catch up to it, sometimes on a faster pitcher, it might be a little bit easier to hit him out.
Here's the 2-0 to Hagedorn. Husak been very careful so far. Again, in the dirt there. Nothing good to hit for Hagedorn so far. This lineup for ADM, not a lot of power in the lineup, not a lot of very high batting averages, which allows you as North Polk to be very careful when you go up against a hitter like Hagedorn. Here's the 3-0. And that is cranked out to right center field and out of here. A first inning home run, and ADM scores their first run of the season against North Polk.
The girls got to be careful here. They're in fair territory. See if the umpire. That's one of the big things about hitting a home run is the ADM girls were in fair territory when they came out to celebrate that home run. And a lot of times you'll see a warning issued there. You got to, when they hit a home run, you got to stay in foul territory. Let's watch this one on replay. Just as we've said before, harder it comes in, harder it goes out, and just lines this one. That got out of here in a hurry, just over that right center field fence.
The green light on the 3-0, and left it over the plate. One of the best pitches that ADM will see all day, and Hagedorn makes Husak pay. 13th home run of the season.
And And there we go for ADM. That was the first thing I said before they started this game is just let's get one run. Let's prove that, hey, we can score on this team. And now maybe that will, kind of get them in gear a little bit.
Kaylee Smith crowding the plate. Gets buzzed a little bit there by IGHSAU. IGHSAU got behind 3-0. You almost expect against a hitter like Hagedorn that they might just walk her in that situation. Left one over the plate, and on the 3-0 count, Hagedorn sends that thing to right center field. That pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Evens up the count at 1 apiece.
Just the 29th earned run she has given up in over 215 innings this year.
Incredible stat for the top-ranked North Polk Comets.
And we mentioned runs are going to become hard to come by because Hagedorn's very capable pitcher herself in the circles. So, obviously North Polk is going to have plenty of chances to come up with their bats, but runs are going to be tough to come by.
That ball popped up out of play. And ADM, like you mentioned, in 2 games this year against North Polk, did not score. So a great start for the Tigers.
Final regular season game 4-0. A couple of state tournament teams they played, North Polk did at the end of that regular season.
That ball spun foul.
They played Van Meter, lost 1-0 to Van Meter. Obviously, we'll be playing next on this field in the Class 2A tournament. Then they beat Esterville Lincoln Central at ELC 12-1. They were in the 3A tournament, and then played ADM to end their season. That's North Polk. So 3 really good state tournament teams to end their year.
Well, they also played Ankeny a couple times throughout the course of the year as well, and beat the Hawkettes, who just had their season ended in the 5A semifinals. There's a strikeout for IGHSAU, and that is out number 3. Everybody kind of looked around. They went 1-2-4 to get the outs, but ADM draws first blood as we head to the bottom of the first here on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu as we head to the bottom of the first. North Polk coming up with Elise Ingebrigtsen, Ava Kadelka, and Ava IGHSAU. Lauren Hagedorn, the sophomore, in the circle for ADM, 18-6 on the year. An earned run average of exactly 1. Aubrey Winter completes the battery for the Tigers. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Olivia Wyant at third, Ella Smith at short, Macy Person at second, Kaylee Smith at first, and I will get to the outfield here after this pitch. That pitch is low to make it 2-0. Maddie James in left, Aniston Talari in center, and Alea Johnson in right field.
Over 230 strikeouts this year for Hagedorn in the circle. It's given up under 30 earned runs. Has only hit 6 and walked under 50 this year. So has had a good year herself, leading ADM to second place in the Raccoon River Valley Conference.
Elise Ingebrigtsen bats over 450 on the year, gets on base over half the time. Looking to get a leadoff runner on for head coach Rick Dillinger in his 34th season at North Polk, 44 seasons coaching overall. Ingebrigtsen pulls that one through. She's got some speed and is thrown out by Person. Quick release from Person at second base.
And we talk about how good the Raccoon River Conference is. We mentioned Carlisle already a winner in the first round game. So it will be Raccoon River versus Raccoon River for the state championship. Just will it be Carlisle versus ADM or Carlisle versus North Polk? Carlisle finished third in the conference this year. Pretty crazy to think about that.
There's another hit over to Person, and she takes her time to throw it across to Smith for out number 2. So a couple ground outs induced by Hagedorn. And that'll bring up Ava Husak. And Husak is one that, we mentioned Hagedorn and her big bat. Husak, 12 home runs on the season as well. Husak bats over 500 on the season.
I think it comes with just, as a pitcher, you just know that zone so well. And if you just make contact, sometimes good things happen. Swings the bat well.
Stepping up from the left-handed side of the plate. Probably see a lot of low pitches here from Hagedorn, as you saw there on the first pitch. And then she goes up high right as I say that. Makes the count 2-0.
Yeah. She might try to go up high to beat her sometimes. Never going to go like the top part of the zone. It's either going to be pretty well out of the zone or lower.
Buzzes the tower there and makes the count 3-0. These two mirror images of each other to this point in their at-bats.
Yeah.
See if Husak has the green light. Sun's starting to peek through a little bit through the Canadian wildfire smoke up here in Fort Dodge. And Husak draws the 2-out walk.
Yeah, and she knows, like I mentioned, she knows the strike zone so well. As soon as that pitch was getting across the plate, she was already dropping her bat and running to first base. She knew. We'll have a courtesy runner as an IMT substitution.
Jocelyn Manick heads into first base. Substitutions in today's game are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Lucy Lucas batting .390 steps up to the plate with Manick over there at first.
She has 17 stolen bases at first. There she goes.
Hardly a play to be made. I was on the call yesterday when Van Meter set the 2A state record for stolen bases in a game. Talk about a team with some speed out there. They had 14 officially. I had them for 16 in my book, but 14 officially. Just to put it in perspective, the record was 8, and they had 14 stolen bases in their quarterfinal win. There's a strike at the knees of Lucas, evens up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, it'll probably be a while before that one gets.
The tournament record is 15.
Okay.
So they had 14 in one game. Ooh, the changeup.
Great pitch.
Swings Lucas out of her shoes.
Yeah, Lucas just so far away from that pitch. It's one of those that it looks so good, and then you're like, whoa, that is not as quick as it was coming in before.
Hagedorn puts that one in the dirt on the 1-2.
This is a big at-bat here. You got a runner at second base in a 1-0 game. If you can get out of this first inning, I mean, that's with the lead. Haven't scored all year, and now you're going to head into the second with the lead. This is a big at-bat. Ball in play anywhere could score a runner.
Hung that changeup up and in as Lucas punches it foul. Good crowd on hand, already quite loud. It feels like we might get some more rain today. Nothing on the radar right now, but had to clear the whole complex this morning, get everybody back out to the parking lot with lightning. That ball's popped up to left field, drifting foul over there. Maddie James can't quite make the play as it stays in. Talked in the pregame about that wind pushing the ball over there, and it's just enough. It looked like it would carry it out, and it stayed in just barely. James could not quite haul it in.
Yeah, great effort by James there. Kind of sacrificing the body going into that chain link fence, looking to make that play.
2-2 the count to Lucas. Lucas pops that one up out of play.
Just fighting here. What a great at-bat by Lucas, and a 2-2 count, so if she lays off a couple of them here, she's going to fight through, looking for a couple of balls.
Into that quality at-bat territory. Little change up, and Lucas fouls it off her foot. says she's okay. Puts her hands up right away and lets home plate umpire Jason Lewis know that she is all right. She's in the zone right now, doesn't want to take any extra time away.
Right. How many foul balls she's had so far?
North Polk has no seniors on their tournament roster here.
And these were
Lucas, one of the juniors, one of several juniors that appeared on the 2-2. Fouls that one off as well. Quality at bat right now for Lucas.
And not only do they not have any seniors, but these were all the girls that were on the team last year, too. So they were young last year, got some experience. Obviously, fell out in that first round game to North Scott, but they're back. Kind of have on a mission this year. Still young, though.
4A, just a gauntlet. Upstairs. Test of willpower right now for Hagedorn.
Yeah.
She was ahead in the count. Lucas has battled back. See who ends up winning the battle here.
Well, that's what I say. Just keep following pitches off. Eventually, they're going to miss the zone.
And she got it through. What an at-bat for Lucy Lucas. Runner comes around, play at the plate, and safe at home is Manick. And Lucas heads into second on the throw.
As you mentioned, great at-bat there by Lucas. Just kept fouling out. Finally got a pitch she wanted to hit. She drove it right past second and first base. And we'll watch this one again. Just a great piece of hitting. Goes with the pitch to the right side of the infield. Great throw from right, but just not enough as Johnson gave it a heave from right field. A little bit long, and we're tied.
That'll bring up Tessa Dillinger, first baseman here for North Polk. She bats .336 on the year. And another runner in scoring position for the Comets. One hacked up the middle, and it is going to be booted there at short by Smith. Play at the plate again is high. There's obstruction called anyway as Lucas comes in to score, and just like that, North Polk has taken a 2-1 lead after the first 2 outs of the inning, and that's going to draw a visit to the mound right now, probably bringing in the whole team in, and Lindsay Stanford wants to talk with her Tigers.
Yeah, one of those plays where it's a really good effort by second, but you got to be quick with that throw. And because she wanted to be quick with the throw, just gets away from her and skies over her catcher's head.
So 2 errors here in the first inning. The one gave an extra base, which eventually has led to a run. The other one now has directly led to the run for North Polk. And they lead 2-1.
Yeah, and again, now we go back to what we said in the first inning, is runs are going to become hard to become by. And I know errors, when you're playing really good teams like this, just want to try to limit those.
All of this has been done with 2 outs, a walk from Husak, a hit from Lucas, and Dillinger gets on with an error. And a 2-out rally going on right now for the Comets. Maddie Cleaver steps up to the plate. The left fielder bats .253 on the year. She watches that pitch in the dirt.
For ADM, we just want to get out of it at this point.
Yeah, an opportunity for them just to kind of settle down a little bit too and just make your plays, make the routine. That ball slapped over there to short, picked up by Smith, and she throws it across to Smith for the out. Ella Smith to Kaylee Smith, but North Polk gets 2 back off 2 hits and 2 errors here in the bottom of the first. We go to the top of the second here. North Polk in the lead on the IGHSAU digital network.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Nice view of the North Polk faithful there. Actually, no, that's ADM. I was looking at the wrong side of my camera, all jacked up here in the directions I was looking. That is the ADM crowd in their white. Maddie James leading things off for ADM here in the top of the second. Watches that first pitch drift outside for a ball. James, left fielder, bats 266 on the season. ADM got on the board first with a home run to right center from Lauren Hagedorn, and now it is North Polk trying to shut them down, and they would like to add some runs. Can't do it here. It's a little fly ball to Dillinger, results in out number one.
Yeah, and HUSAC is so good. If you like just watching the more beautiful part of softball, just watch where the catcher is setting up, watch where she is looking to throw that softball, and then watch where that softball is going. Just picks her spot so well. She was looking to get one on the inside, got one on the inside, and got her to pop it up.
Little miscommunication here as they try to figure out what pitch they want HUSAC to throw to Ellis Smith, and Smith watches the first pitch for strike one right down the middle. You're not going to see many better pitches than that to hit from HUSAC.
And I haven't looked at her. I don't know if she's wearing the device to hear or if they're going straight from the dugout. But it does look like they're signaling as far as where they want those to be.
Yeah, it looks like she's looking over and getting the signals from the dugout, and off the wristband is Lucy Lucas there behind home plate. Here's the 0-2. Tries to work that outside corner, a couple balls out there.
Yeah, Lucas also has been kind of signaling back to the dugout where some of the pitches have been. So they must be recording those of where they're calling them, where they're actually going to.
Goes back to the screwball, works outside in. For the third strikeout of the day, the first one looking there for HUSAC. Olivia Wyant steps up next. She bats .230 on the season, plays third base. And equipment, a little helmet issue.
Yeah, it looks like there's something wrong with the strap of the helmet. We had a strap on a glove yesterday. I'd never seen that. The girl went to strap her glove back up, and she pulled the strap off the glove.
I saw a line drive earlier this year rip the webbing out of a glove. Okay. I had to get a new one in for that. I've not seen what you're talking about, though, with tightening it up and pulling it right off, huh?
That's the strength and conditioning coach doing something well back there. She went to tighten the glove and just ripped it right off.
Well, and softball and baseball players, they don't want to use a different glove.
No.
So if something like that happens, you're trying to figure out any way possible to use your own glove again.
That was literally my comment with that, is like my high school glove, I still play catch with it, you know what I mean? Yes. 9 years later.
25 years later for me, it's the same mitt. Wyant steps to the plate. Popped up on the infield. Actually, shallow outfield is retreating his cleaver, and she makes the play for the third out of the inning. 1-2-3, down goes ADM. We head to the bottom of the second in the North Polk half. Back after this on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
First pitch from Lauren Hagedorn to Quinn Niram is a strike. Niram, Osborne, and Cleaver due up for North Polk. And that just misses outside. One the count to Niram. Upstairs, good discipline by Niram to lay off that pitch.
ADM took down Fort Dodge 2-0 getting into this point. It was Western Dubuque falling to North Polk.
And a peel down to first on the check swing there from Niram. And to say she did not go. It was close, but she did not go, and now it's a hitter's count to Niram.
North Polk has outscored their opponents 22-3 in the postseason. That includes the state tournament.
Niram bounces that one back to Hagedorn, and Hagedorn the easy throw over to Smith for out number one.
And good job by Hagedorn. Sometimes that's tough when you come through the follow-through of your pitch. You're able to get the glove back down, scoop that up, and then fire that back over to first base, which does a good job there. But yeah, going on North Polk, 8-0 over Mason City in the first round. They beat Gilbert 7-1 in the regional final, and then took down Western Dubuque yesterday 7-2. So 22-3 here in the postseason.
Lauren Osborne watches that first pitch from Hagedorn for a strike. Hagedorn really working hard to get ahead. Might see North Polk get a little more aggressive on the first ball. And that's a strike on the outside corner as well. So quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 is Hagedorn.
As you mentioned, losses for North Polk this year. A loss to Ankeny. I mentioned the Van Meter one. Two other losses this year. Waukee Northwest and Williamsburg, both state tournament teams. So all four of the losses for North Polk this year have come to state tournament teams. Williamsburg in 3A, Waukee Northwest in 5A, Carlisle, Van Meter in 2A, and then Ankeny in 5A. So
they ended up beating Ankeny the second time that they played. There's a swing and a miss for the first strikeout of the day for Lauren Hagedorn. The number 9 batter, Caitlin Cleaver, batting .284 on the season. Stepping up next. It's been a quick second inning after each team got some base runners and some runs in the first inning. First pitch drops in there, a little off speed coming from Hagedorn for strike one.
The one thing Hagedorn's missing so far, over 230 of them this year, as just finds that first strikeout. That was the first thing. That was the only thing she was missing, was getting that strikeout.
Averages out to over 5 a game. And when you can get that many outs without making your defense have to make a play, there's a lot of things that happen. It helps to eliminate the errors as well.
Yeah. No, exactly what you're saying is when the ball's not in play, nothing funky can happen with the ball being in play.
Hagedorn loses that one down low and makes the count 2-1. Cleaver awaits the pitch. Fouls it back off of Aubrey Winter and then also off of Jason Lewis. They both look at each other and check to make sure they're all right. Got a little piece of everybody there.
Yeah. Deuces.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the second. Outside there. Loads up the count. Cleaver loaded hard.
We used to call this the money pitch. I don't know if people still do that.
And she goes after the rise ball for the second strikeout of the game. We head to the top of the third. 2-1. North Polk in the lead.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Back to Fort Dodge. It's the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Semifinal number 2 in Class 4A. The winner gets conference foe Carlisle in the state championship game tomorrow night at 7:30. That one is in there for a called strike. Zarin Eggestal with you here from Fort Dodge. 5A will play a state championship game at 5 o'clock. 7:30 for Class 4A tomorrow, and then the small classes will play their state championship games on Friday. Our friends at Iowa Public Television will have those games for you. It's been a great 3 days of softball. If you're joining in us, we did have an hour and a half weather delay this morning, which is throwing us a bit off if you are tuning in, getting ready for a 2:30 or a 3 o'clock game. Will be a slight delay on this. This game was originally scheduled for 12:45 today. We got started about 2 o'clock here in Fort Dodge. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Husak dealing in the circle for North Polk. That one just a piece off the handle of the bat. ADM struck first. Leah Johnson right now is the batter. 8-9 and 1 coming up to the plate for the ADM Tigers. And Johnson batting for the first time in this contest, right fielder for ADM. Comes inside, it'll be ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Husak was looking for that inside pitch where Lucas was set up, but just a bit inside. To Johnson. This one is lined towards right field. That is a foul ball. Just foul down that first base line. Both home plate and first base umpire called the same as they both quickly put up foul ball. That landed right in front of the first base umpire. He had the best look at it. Just foul. That would have been trouble just behind the first base bag as well. So we'll do it again here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Johnson. And now we'll get it to a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Aaliyah Johnson. Ava Husak back in the circle for North Polk, the outstanding junior. The 3-2 payoff pitch is low, ball 4. What a great at-bat by Johnson. She fouled off a couple of pitches. She got down on the count 1 and 2, fouled a couple off, and she takes ball 4 low and inside there, and ADM has the leadoff runner on. As Anastasia Collier will step in now. She's the center fielder. And they'll flip back over to the top of the order. Due up next, the top of the order that came in and scored for ADM to start this game. It was a Lauren Hagedorn solo shot to right center field. Then got this game started at 1-0 lead. Before North Polk came back and scored a couple of runs on a couple of ADM errors. Runner's going to take off, double clutch, throw down to second base. Just not in time. And Johnson will slide in safely at second. Good throw by Lucas behind the plates, but just bounced past Westra, the shortstop, who came in. Cleaver, the second baseman, was there to cover. So now a runner in scoring position takes out that force at second base. They'll have to go to first now on a ground ball. So a big steal there. They are going to bunt her over to third base. Here comes the throw to first. It is not. It is in time. Sliding in safe or sliding in out is Collier. And she did a head first slide trying to get to first base, but it was executed well by North Polk, as Quinn Neerum came down the line and made the play. now we'll have a conversation, but that's exactly what ADM was looking for. That's why they stole Johnson to second to get her away from a force, and then you can sacrifice her to third. And now with just one out, now you got to run her at third base. Now you're a pass ball, a wild pitch. Any base hits away from tying this game here in the third inning. And Cameron Smith will step in. She's the leadoff hitter. In for a second time in this ball game. And sends this one out of play. She is the offensive player. She started the game as the registered pitcher, but of course, everybody knew ADM was pitching Hagedorn to start this off, just the way they lined that up as far as the scorecard goes. So the offensive player is Cam Smith. She's batting here in the top of the order. Hagedorn doing the pitching. She was registered as the designated player. Runner at third base, no balls and 1 strike to count to Smith. And that one misses just high. Smith lays off of it. Smith did put it in play her first time to the plate. She sent one in the air, but was a fly out. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. USAC doesn't give up a lot of runs. Bunts, they're going to try to bring the runner home. And now going back to third is Johnson. She's in a rundown, and she is out. No, they didn't tag her. I thought they put the tag on her back into third. Now she is out. I thought the tag got there when she was coming down third base. It did not. They tried to squeeze her home. And North Polk did a good job of, let's watch this one again. North Polk did a great job of coming home with that. Ran her back to first base. I thought she got touched there. She did not. And then finally gets tagged out at third by the third baseman, Nira. While that was going on, of course, heads-up play by Smith. She kept running. She gets to second base. So Cameron Smith is at second now, still in scoring position. And they're going to hit here in this spot as we're going to have an IMT substitution. Kennedy Stanford will come in. She'll be a pinch hitter. And an IMT substitution from the left side for ADM. First pitch misses for a ball. Stanford, the junior, has 9 hits this year and 5 RBI, and she's a base hit away from potential second RBI. Hitting for Macy Person, the second baseman here in the 2 spot. Hagedorn on deck. Already has a solo home run in this contest. 1 ball and 1 strike after the rundown. Got to hand it to a great effort down at first base as well by Dillinger as she charged to make that squeeze play happen. You get the, oh, she gets hit with the pitch. The ball comes inside and it hits her. Got good contact. We could hear that one. We'll see, are they going to run for her? They will over at first base. So we'll have another substitution as they'll bring Person back in to run. So Person will re-enter in her normal spot to run. They're going to walk Hagedorn, and the bases are going to be loaded. So Stanford gets hit by a pitch. Person will come back in to run in her spot. She'll go to second. Smith will go to third as Hagedorn will go to first. They're going to intentionally walk her, and now they're going to courtesy run for the pitcher. And the courtesy runner will be Lauren Troster. So Lauren Troster will be a pinch runner, courtesy runner over at first base. And an IMT substitution. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. All of our substitutions in this state tournament are brought to you by IMT. So wild action going on here at the state tournament. And now it's up to Kaylee Smith, the first baseman, to try to bring a run in here for ADM with 2 outs in the third, nowhere to put her. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. IGHSAU doesn't issue a ton of walks, just 30 walks in almost 230 innings this year. Here's the 0-1. In there on the outside corner, called strike two. Great frame job by Lucas behind the plate. That caught a corner of the plate, but Lucas did a great job of making sure the umpire could see it. No balls and 2 strikes. Smith will have to protect, down 0-2 with the bases loaded for ADM. Called strike 3, and IGHSAU gets the strikeout to end the inning, and ADM will leave them loaded. The Division I softball recruit fires in a called strike 3, and ADM leaves the bases loaded. We'll come back. Bottom half of the third inning is next here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back to Fort Dodge, Elise Ingebretson steps in. She is the batter as the designated player for North Polk, top of the North Polk order. And that one is down for a ball. It'll be 2 balls and no strikes to start off this at-bat to Ingebretson. Left-handed batter. 0 for 1 so far today. She grounded out in her first plate appearance. Hagedorn, 2 strikeouts, 2 hits, just 1 run given up. Hey, great snag there at shortstop for the ADM shortstop, Smith. Let's watch this one again. Now Smith able to grab that one, reaches up and takes away a base hit from Ingebretson. Eva Kadolka will step in now. Kadolka bats from the right side. And she'll take a first pitch for a strike. Hagedorn trying to lock things down after a couple of runs came in. 1 earned, 1 unearned. In that bottom of the first inning, shut North Polk down in the second. And trying to do so here again in the third. She's ahead in the count. Did she offer at it? She did not. The ADM fans, 2 things. They wanted a called third strike, didn't get that. Then they wanted a swing and didn't get that either. And Lauren Hagedorn asked the home plate umpire, was that out? And he says, yes. There's a swing and a miss. And the tag is applied behind the plate by Winter for out number 2. So Hagedorn finds her third strikeout there. It'll be a touch out from Winter behind home plate. So Hagedorn, as you see there in the circle, regathering herself, getting set now to face off against IGHSAU. Ava IGHSAU, the opposing pitcher, brings the power for North Polk when it comes to swinging the stick this year. 44 RBIs, over 50 hits this season. That's over 500 at the plate. And that one's in there for a called strike. So leaving the count, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. North Polk, a couple of runs on a couple of hits, have not committed error. They did leave one runner on base. This one popped up. Foul territory, could be playable. No, it's going to drift out. The wind, you can see the flag in the center of the field. It is moving that direction from right to left. And that's exactly how that softball blows up and out of play. So we'll be 1-2 now. IGHSAU walked her first time to the plates, but now in a pitcher's count, down 1-2. Ground ball towards the second base side, and picked up and fired by Person over to first in time for out number 3. So ADM gets out of it. 1-2-3 fashion of North Polk. We'll come back. More softball is next.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Fans, welcome back to the state tournament. Official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. QR code there on your screen. Great looking long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt. As we head to the top half of inning number 4, moving along here in this Class 4A semifinal. Winner gets Carlisle tomorrow night at 7:30 for the state championship. We know it's going to be 2 Raccoon River teams. Will it be 2 versus 3 in conference standings or 1 versus 3 in the final conference standings for the state title? That will be what's determined. There's almost a liner on a bunt right past the pitcher, and she's going to be safe with a base hit. How about that for Maddie James, the left fielder? She went to push that one past the pitcher and pushed it on a line, coming in so hard from IGHSAU. And almost looked like a line drive, went right past the glove of IGHSAU, and it's going to be a base hit. And so you get the leadoff runner on, James, as Ellis Smith will step in now. It'll be the back half of the order for ADM that will have to try to move runners around here. Smith followed by Lyant, who's due up next. Leah Johnson to follow after that. If they're still batting at that point. Again, they're going to push the bunt. IGHSAU bobbles it, and everybody's going to be safe again. So ADM, who doesn't normally go as much with the small ball, back-to-back here as they push the bunts. They are going to issue an error on IGHSAU for that. Time will be called officially on the scoreboard. Tough play for IGHSAU, but they are going to issue her for an error. The first error committed in the ball game against North Polk, and now runners are at first and second for the Tigers, trailing this game by 1. It was a Lauren Hagedorn solo shot in the first that got ADM on track, but it's been all North Polk since then with the lead. And now Olivia Wynot will step in, the third baseman. And she'll bat with runners at first and second. And she's going to try to lay down a bunt. Third base, side fire to first base in time for the out. But a sacrifice as runners will move to second and third. So the bunt is Picked up this time by Niram. And Niram is able to fire it to first base. That one's routine, but now ADM is just a pass ball, wild pitch, or anything for a hit. They're going to bring the infield in. It looks like the first baseman, third baseman, a little bit closer than they normally would play. Second baseman is also not in her normal position as they try to bring the infield in here, trying to save that run if there is a ball to one of the infielders. And it is to the second baseman, and it pops right past her. One run will score. They're going to try to bring in a second run. Here comes the throw home. It's not in time. Aaliyah Johnson with a 2 RBI single into right field, and the ADM Tigers, for just the second time this year, lead the North Polk Comets by a score of 3-2. You got to bring the infield in that situation to try to come home, but when you do, sometimes those hard shots are tougher to grab, and that's exactly what we have there. Just an impossible play at second base for Caitlin Cleaver, as she had to play in, and that ball is just too well hit. Tip your cap to the batter, Aaliyah Johnson, as she finds the gap, and she scores 2 runs. Pitch in there for a called strike. Now on Tollier, who steps up in the 9 spot. And she pops a bunt up. It's caught. Johnson will get back to first. So Johnson will get back to first base, as that play is made by the North Polk third baseman, Niram. She's made both plays now on bunts, and it's been the small ball for ADM to get them back in the lead by a score of 3-2 here in the 4th inning. That one misses just high. These two teams have played twice this year. North Polk has blanked them twice, 5-0, 4-0. But the Tigers started off with a run, and that's what they needed. They kind of open the floodgates now as they lead 3-2. And this one is hit well, but foul down the third base side. And runs have been hard to come by against IGHSAU this season. A 0.93 ERA in over 220 innings this year. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. To Cam Smith at the top of the order, and it's missing for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cameron Smith 0 for 2 so far today, a fly out and a fielder's choice. Aaliyah Johnson is over at first base. And this one is grounded towards the short. Fired to first base in time. A 6-3 put out as Westra to Dillinger in time for the out, but not before ADM finds 2. It's 3-2. There's the Tigers, or the Comets. They're coming up to bat next. Welcome.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Back to Fort Dodge, it's the IGHSAU State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, Class 4A semifinals. Semifinals different from the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals kind of goes back and forth with the games. In the semifinals, all of the same classes are on the same field. So 5A was over on our Channel Seeds field. 4A is here on the Iowa Central field. 3A is getting set to play, or is playing over on the Channel Seeds field, and then we'll have Class 2A next here. The only difference in that schedule is 1A. The two 1A games are played on separate fields, with the top of the bracket in 1A playing on Channel Seeds, bottom half of the bracket playing on Iowa Central. We're at the Iowa Central field here in a good one between Raccoon River Conference opponents, ADM and North Polk. And now it's North Polk's chance here in the home half of the fourth inning. Down 3-2. They've trailed once already in this game. That's in there for a called strike, but have not trailed for a complete inning. After ADM took the initial 1-0 lead in the top of the first, North Polk came back and scored 2 in the bottom half of the first and have led since then. So ADM trying to get out of this inning and get back to the fifth with the lead for the first time in a complete inning all season. For North Polk, they send their catcher, Lucy Lucas, to the plate here. Dillinger is on deck, and Maddie Cleaver will also bat in this half inning. And that one's fouled off the foot. She'll shake that one off. Hopefully she is okay. Lucas signals to her bench that she got it just above the knee. She says, I'm good. Left-handed batter. Does use extra protection. She's got an elbow guard and a toe and ankle protection. This one is fouled up and out of play, but of course no protection there just above the knee. That one making it towards the Iowa Central baseball field behind us, where the consolation teams have been warming up. The championship teams, they warm up across the street inside Harlan Rogers, across the parking lot, I should say. This one is ripped out into center field. That one back towards the wall. It's over the head. Rounding first and heading towards second is Lucas, and she'll slide in safely with a fist pump, and she is fired up. A leadoff double. An extra base hit brought to you by Channel Seeds. Let's watch this one again as she just wallops that one to dead center. Good effort in center field by Talari going after that one, but just over the head of Talari, and is an extra base hit. Fans in our games today, Channel Seeds brings you the extra base hits. The enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you in your game. Rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. And now they'll try to sacrifice her to third, but the bunt is offered at and missed by Tessa Dillinger, the first baseman. She had a great play on a squeeze earlier by ADM and got one of the ADM runners out. That saved a run, which obviously plays importance now in a one-run game that they trail. As that one lands on top of the dugout, you see the North Polk fans there. Left side of the diamond, third base side. No balls and 2 strikes. Hagedorn still dealing in the circle. She's struck out 3, allowed 3 hits, walked 1, and 1 earned run so far in the game. Called third strike, strikeout number 4. A great pitch by Lauren Hagedorn. Huge strikeout with a runner at second base and nobody out. You get a strikeout, you get an out without that ball in motion. Just about anything right now will move that runner unless it's hard right at a shortstop initially, and then once that throw goes, you would assume that they'll take off. So just having that ball not in motion is what ADM is looking for. We'll have a foul ball here as Maddie Cleaver will step in, the left fielder. Quinn Neerum is on deck. She'll bat next. Back half of the North Polk order, 6 and 7 are the next 2 to bat. After the 4-hole hitter, the cleanup hitter, the catcher, Lucy Lucas, led off this half inning with a double to deep center. And that one in there for a called strike. Since then, it has been strike after strike for Lauren Hagedorn, and she now has Cleaver down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. This one is out towards left field. That'll fall for a base hit. Runner will move up to third base, and it'll be first and third with just one out here for the North Polk Comets. A good piece of hitting there by Cleaver as she just lines one out into left field. And now Quinn Nerum will come up with a chance at an RBI. And depending on where she puts it, if she gets a hold of one, possibly two. Nerum, 13 RBIs coming into this tournament, 26 hits. She'll face Hagedorn here. And that one misses high and away for a ball. It'll be 1 ball and no strikes in the count to Nerum. That was the first hit of the ball game for Cleaver. She grounded out her first time to the plate, now 1 for 2. And runners are at first and third. Showed bunt. They're going to let Cleaver have seconds. So the runners now in scoring position, both of them are. Runner at second and a runner at third. Nerum 0 for 1. She grounded out her last time to the plate. Now in her second plate appearance, the third baseman also has made a couple of great defensive plays for the Comets of North Polk. Popped up, but fouled back to the screen. It is caught, but off the screen, so it is a dead ball immediately. The netting here at Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex kind of got cloudy as the sun's gone away. As the clouds over top of the field here. 1-2. Outside off the corner. Winter, the battery mate of Hagedorn for ADM. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Good defensive swing there by Nerum as you hear the kids going after those foul balls. They can return those foul balls to the concession stand for a prize. So above us, you can hear them running after them. We'll do the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. A fantastic off-speed pitch by Hagedorn. Fools Nerum. And a huge strikeout with runners at second and third for the ADM pitcher, Lauren Hagedorn. Just a sophomore trying to get a big out here. This is over towards second base. It is caught. The home plate umpire says it was caught on the line, so no need to fire to first. It is a catch at second base. 2 North Polk runners are stranded, and for the first time, we head to an inning, a new inning, with ADM leading by a score of 3-2. We'll come back. The 5th inning is next on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Fans, welcome back to Fort Dodge. You can level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passion and be more than just a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. And we're going to start this half inning with a pinch hitter for a second time in the game. Kennedy Stanford is going to come in and pinch hit, brought to you by IMT. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. So Stanford was a pinch hitter her last time to the plate as well. They removed her defensively, actually on the base pass, and now she comes back into pinch hitter once again. All substitutions brought to you by IMT. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Fouls this one back to the backstop. She got hit by a pitch when she came in and got on, trying to do the same for Hagedorn, who is on deck. Well, for ADM, you have a lead through a complete inning for a first time. Now trying to add on. No balls and 2 strikes to Stanford, and that one's going to miss for a ball outside. Lucas trying to frame that one up for the umpire, but it is taken outside. Lucas, one of the more active catchers you will see, and this one's fouled up and out of play for the fans at the concession stands. That one was cracked pretty well. ADM out of Dallas County. Tigers mentioned they're wearing the blacks, but scarlet is the red color that they go by, scarlet and black. And there's a swing and a miss strikeout, big one by HUSAC. And she sits down Stanford to start off this half inning. Strikeout number 5 for HUSAC in the ball game. 5 strikeouts. She's given up 3 hits. Has walked 2. 2 of the 3 runs have been earned, including a home run to this young lady, Lauren Hagedorn, who steps in now. A solo shot in the first. And that one misses outside for a ball as HUSAC starts trying to get her to chase after one. It was a really competitive pitch for HUSAC. One that not a lot of hitters are going to get contact on, but when you do, because that fastball's coming in so quickly, it was just Hagedorn having to turn on it, and that thing darted out of here on a line. Now she'll go low with one. They intentionally walked her last time to the plate, so the first time she's gotten a swing since that solo home run, and they've gone outside and low to her so far in this at-bat. Obviously not going to intentionally walk her here, but so far also haven't want to competitively pitch to her, and again, they're going to miss low and away. So this may be one of those not intentional walks, but if you want to swing at something low or swing at something outside, fine, but otherwise likely going to see around the strike zone pitches only. That's what we've seen so far. And yeah, 4 pitches, all of them essentially walking her way outside, and then 3 pitches in the dirt to Hagedorn. So she takes an intentional walk and then a 4-pitch intentional walk, though courtesy runner for her at first base. As Lauren Troster comes in for a second time in this game. So Troster's at first. 1 away for ADM. Here in the top half of the 5th inning, they lead 3-2 over North Polk. Winner to the state championship game tomorrow night. Across the way on the Channel Seeds championship field. Ground ball, first base side, foul. This field brought to you by Iowa Central College here in Fort Dodge. Batting for ADM is Kaylee Smith, the first baseman. Left-handed batter for the Tigers. And that one misses for a ball. 1 ball. And 1 strike to count. Pitch is lined on the right side, but just foul. That would have been trouble if it would have been a fair ball, as it escaped down into the right corner and kind of tucked itself up against the tarp that unfortunately we had to use earlier today. But just goes foul down that first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. HUSAC back in the circle. Here is the 1-2. This one is hit well the left side, and it is going to go foul again. So one that was nearly darted in on the first base side. One she got a good crack on down the third base side, but it drifts its way up and out of play, and we'll do it again here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and that one's high and away for a ball. Great job by Lucas as she quickly got out of the crouch to grab that one before it went back behind and allowed Troster, the courtesy runner, to get to second base. Now 2-2 the count. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's away for ball 3. And the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, top of the 5th inning. ADM leads North Polk 3-2. Here is the payoff pitch, and it is ripped foul down the first base side, and we'll do it all over again. 2018, ADM played for a state title. Lost to Des Moines Hoover, if you remember that one in 2018. Beat Dallas Center Grimes 9-1 in the first round. Beat Newton 9-8 in a thrilling semifinal. Kind of similar to what we have here. A really good one, 3-2 right now. ADM leads. Here's the 3-2, and this one is hit well to right field. That one's back towards the wall. It is off the top of the wall. Runners heading to third. Troster slides in safely, and it's a very loud single off the right field wall. I think that Smith may thought that she had one for a moment as the fans in right field started standing up, and that one got to the fence in a hurry, bounced off the right field fence, and was only able to get to a single. Played well, though, in right field. You got to give credit where credit is due. Osborne was able to get there in right field, and we'll have a courtesy runner here as Aubrey Noreen will step in. She is an IMT substitution. Be worry-free with IMT at IMT.com. Coach Rick Dillinger is out to have a conversation with his North Polk Comets. Coach Dillinger in his 44th year coaching softball, 34 of those years at North Polk, over 1,000 and 1,200 career wins. Looking for win 1,243 today, got 42 in the first round, but right now his North Polk Comets are trailing 3-2 with runners at first and third and just one out. And of course, we'll see how long Noreen stays at first base, but unlikely to be long. Maddie James steps in the 5 spot. So it's been the top of the order for ADM, as you would hope they would do, and put them in a position to add on to their already 3-2 lead. Of course, Lucas very good behind home plate as a catcher, but you would assume that they would like to try to move that runner to second and have 2 runners in scoring position at some point. Here is the 1-0. There she takes off now, and she'll have second base. So runners are at second and third now for ADM. Just one out, top half of the 5th inning. And Maddie James, the batter for the Tigers. James 1 for 2 so far today. A single her last time up. She flew out her first time. Both times she has made contact against Husak. Popped up in the air in the middle of the infield, and the play will be made. So Husak gets what she wanted there, an infield pop-up for out number 2, a big second out as James flies out for a second time in this contest. Runners are still at second and third, so you're not out of danger now, but you see a path to keeping this game at 3-2. Ellis Smith will step in now. The shortstop will bat with runners at second and third. Husak trying to get the Comets back to the dugout. First pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Big spot in the game for both teams. Husak trying to hold the lead at 3-2. ADM trying to break it open. ADM has not scored a run all year against North Polk. They've scored 3, and they're in business right now with runners at second and third. Popped up in the air back to the backstop, and that'll be a foul ball up the netting as Lucas will track that one down and fire it back to Husak. Noreen is at second, courtesy runner. Troster is at third, also a courtesy runner. Here's the 1-1 now. And that one just misses for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Smith so far, she struck out her first time, sacrificed her last time, but it was an error and she reached. So reaching last time on a sacrifice bunt, that was an error, charged to Husak. Pops this one up, back towards the backstop, and it is up and out of play. Our home plate umpire will have to grab a couple of new softballs over at the dugout on the third base side. You can hear the ball rolling around on the stand somewhere above us. There's somebody trying to get that back to the concession stand for their prize. And IGHSAU looking for a prize here. A prize is getting her team back to the dugout in the home half of the fifth. And that one climbs the ladder, but drifts outside and will be full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. There is a place to put Smith over at first. If they need to. 3 balls and 2 strikes. IGHSAU, the set, and the 3-2 payoff pitch is ripped into left field. Hit pretty well, but camping underneath it in left for out number 3 is Maddie Cleaver. So she gets under it. Hit well, but hit right to the left fielder, Cleaver. 2 runners are stranded. The lead still 3-2 ADM. North Polk coming to bat when we come back.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back to Fort Dodge. You see the line score there. 3-2, the lead for the Tigers of ADM. North Polk has 9 outs left to work with here in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. They need to score at least 1. That one right down the middle for a called strike. It'll be no balls and 2 strikes to count the leadoff. 9-1-2, so the heart of the order on the horizon for North Polk. Maybe only a couple of more opportunities for that heart of the order to come up. There's a strikeout to start the inning of the 9-hole hitter, Kaylin Cleaver. As she goes down, and it's a strikeout again for Lauren Hagedorn. And we'll go to the top of the order. As Egebretson will step in, the designated player for the Comets of North Polk. You see Hagedorn there signaling something to her teammates. Top of the order. That one is fired back to the backstop. Took me a second. No balls and a strike, 1 out. Top 5, a good pitch. 4 pitches, 4 strikes thrown by Hagedorn. And this one's bunted, foul. Just foul. Egebretson would have been safe if that thing stays fair, but it does not. It rolls foul. So 5 pitches and 5 strikes thrown so far in this contest in the 5th inning for Hagedorn. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 pitches and 2 strikeouts for Lauren Hagedorn to start the 5th inning. She is cruising right now, but Kadalka up to bat. Going to try to change that. Ava Kadalka steps in, the center fielder. Trying to give a boost. Another strike on a foul ball by Hagedorn. ADM fell in the first round last year to Fort Dodge. Changed their fortune this year, beating Fort Dodge in the first round. ADM was the 6th seed a year ago. Went on to lose to Carlisle in the consolation bracket as this one fouled back to the backstop. So 0 for 2 here in Fort Dodge a year ago. This team gets the first round win and now trying to find their way into the state title game. We have a really good North Polk team they're trying to shut down. ADM fans want it called strike 3. That was off the plate, though. Fortunately, from where we sit, they have a really good view of that plate. Not as good as our home plate umpire, who has been phenomenal behind the plate today. 1-2. And that changeup, again, just misses off the edge of the plate. Two close pitches for Kadolko to take, which he does. We've got deuces on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom 5. ADM leading 3-2. Here is that 2-2 pitch. High for ball 3, so Kadolko takes 3 straight. After falling down on the count 0-2, Kadolko takes 3 straight balls, and we are full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hagedorn started this inning with 7 pitches, actually 8 pitches. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. She strikes out the side in order. 1, 2, 3, and we'll head to the 6th. It is ADM leading North Polk 3-2 in a Class 4A semifinal. More softball to come on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
Ladies, the place for you!
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Back here to Fort Dodge. We'd like to take a break here and talk about our friends at the Iowa Farm Bureau. Presenting sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Iowa Farm Bureau believes in the Iowa girl and cultivating individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. By investing in Iowa's youth, we are investing in Iowa's future. Thanks so much to the Iowa Farm Bureau for all they do for the Iowa girl. We are in the top half of the 6th inning. First pitch is in there for a called strike. North Polk now in preservation mode as they're just trying to keep ADM at bay. With ADM leading this game 3-2. This one over towards the right side, but high enough will allow for an easy play by the second baseman, Caitlin Cleaver. She was able to grab that one over at second base. These two teams have been prevalent here at the state tournament. Both were here a year ago. ADM is here for a 4th straight year. We talked about ADM last year falling in the first round. Have not had good luck in the first round of a state tournament. They also fell 2 years ago in 2022. They were the 2 seed that year, lost to North Scott in the 7-2 matchup, and then lost to Indianola 2 years ago in the consolation bracket. This one fouled back to the backstop. So 2022, 2023, they were 0 for 2 both years here at the state tournament. But so far, they find a win on Monday, and now are a couple of innings away from playing for a state title. This one is fouled back to the backstop. But a really, really good North Polk team can light the fire at any points offensively. So if you're ADM, got to stay on your toes. No balls and 2 strikes. Husak will send this one in. It is punched foul by Johnson. Johnson had the go-ahead 2 RBI single her last time to the plate, as she punched 2 runners in on a sharply hit single past the second baseman. No balls and 2 strikes to count here, and that's called strike 3 as IGHSAU with a big celebration. You can hear her battle cry as she finds a strikeout, the second out of the inning. As Talari will step in now. Aniston Talari is the 9 spot hitter. It was 7-8-9 due up for ADM. 9 and then the top of the order for the Tigers. North Polk trying to get to the home half of the 6th. That hitter, it did. Actually, I got a piece back here as well. I caught that. Not sure where that came from, but one of the pieces of gravel that was on the field shot right back and caught me in the face. I got it on the rebound, though. More importantly, ADM's got a runner over at first base as they got a softball to Talari, so she'll take first. I'm sure the softball felt a little bit worse than that piece of dirt. As we'll go back to the top of the order now. This is Smith, Cameron Smith. For ADM batting with a runner over at first base. ADM trying to add on. North Polk trying to get to the home half of the 6th inning. They have 6 outs remaining offensively. And time will be called as IGHSAU and Lucas want to get on the same page. Those two, IGHSAU and Lucas, have had a good relationship. Now they're going to readjust the hair tie of IGHSAU. And Lucas with a smile on her face as she returns to home plate. Girls having fun here in Fort Dodge. It's a fun tournament. The IGHSAU does such a great job of putting it on. One team will have a little bit more fun, though, as they'll play for a state title tomorrow night. Right now, it's advantage ADM. 0 for 2 so far this year against their conference foes, the Raccoon River champions, North Polk Comets. It will be a Raccoon River championship game. Throw down to second base, and the tag was not in time. Good throw, but maybe a better slide. Give the credit where credit is due, as Talari had a really good slide that got around that throw. So she's in scoring position now at second base. Talari is at second. It's a 3-ball and 1 strike count to the leadoff hitter, Smith. IGHSAU finds the sign she wants, and this one is sent out into left field, and it is over the head. 1 run will score. Around first, Smith is heading for second, and she's got a double. That one might have fooled Cleaver out in left field, as it looked like she was going to come in on it originally, and then it goes over her head. It's an extra base hit. It's a double of an RBI. Brought to you by Channel Seeds. The enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. And just like that, ADM extends their lead with 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. Now leading by a score of 4-2. And back into bat is Kennedy Stanford. And that one is in there for a called strike. So Stanford is in to hit once again. Here from the left side, Stanford has been hit by a pitch and also been out so far in this game. Trying to get on to allow Hagedorn to kind of do her damage here in the 6th inning. This one is foul territory. Diving effort at third base, but that one too far out of the reach of the third baseman, Neerum. So Neerum gave a good effort, but unable to get to it. It'll be an 0-2 count. IGHSAU just trying to get out of it. And this one sent out into left field by Stanford, and it is a diving effort, foul ball. It was close to being touched in fair territory. If it would have been a fair ball, but it was touched in foul territory according to our third base umpire, so it'll be a loud foul ball, and we'll try 0-2 again. No balls, 2 strikes the count. And they'll line them up. Stanford steps in, and it hits her again. She gets hit by a pitch for a second time. Coach Dillinger is going to come out. The umpires are going to come together, and they're going to have a conversation to see if she leaned into that one. Coach Dillinger was quickly out of the dugout to ask the officials, and they're going to come together at the circle. They're going to see if she threw her elbow pad into it. No, they're going to say she was hit by the pitch, so she's at first. Stanford is on for a second straight time, and Coach Dillinger now wants to have a conversation as he's going to come to home plate and chat with our home plate umpire. It's been a 2-out rally for ADM. They've scored a run, and now they got runners at first and second. And Hagedorn comes up. That's the biggest part of this puzzle as you bring Hagedorn to the plates in this situation, and they're going to run for Stanford over at first base. So we'll see who comes out to run for ADM. It'll be Alexis Maxwell. Alexis Maxwell is an IMT substitution. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Over at first base, so Maxwell is at first. For ADM. And now time is called. They're going to intentionally walk Hagedorn again. So she's been intentionally walked twice, and she's been intentionally walked once. So she'll take her base for a third time in this game. And Kaylee Smith will get the task now of trying to drop in a run. And we, of course, have our courtesy runner, Troster, over at first base. She has run every time for Hagedorn, the pitcher. Except for the first inning when Hagedorn was able to touch all 4 bags on her own. Solo shot to start the game. The bases are juiced for Smith. And she sends one high in the air. It's sky high, though. And underneath it to make the play is the second baseman. Claim her for out number 3. So North Polk gets out of it by walking Hagedorn. Not before ADM adds on, though. It's 4-2. We enter the home half of the 6th. Little fire-up message there. More softball is next.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to Fort Dodge we go. It is the heart of the North Polk order. Ava Husak steps in. 3, 4, and 5 due up. Husak, Lucas, and Dillinger. And this could be the last time to the plate for the heart of this North Polk order. 6 outs remaining in this game. They will get last ups, of course, and that one is in there for a called strike, 1-1. As the top overall seed and the home team, they'll get last ups, but right now, trailing by a score of 4-2, they need at least 2 of them in the next 2 innings. That pitch is taken for a ball. USAC is 0 for 1 so far today. She walked her first time up to the plate and grounded out. And this one is hit high in the air towards right field. Going back on it is Johnson, and she makes the play for out number 1. USAC gave it a ride, the team leader in home runs. Well, that one is pulled down by Johnson, the right fielder, for out number 1. See Johnson celebrating with her teammates. Made a good effort there. 4-2 ADM leads. This is Lucas now, the outstanding catcher. And she's going to call time. She's going to tie her shoe. So North Polk, the number 1 team a year ago, they fall in the first round of North Scott. North Scott becomes the runners-up. Now North Polk again back with the exact same team, nobody different. You had a couple of 8th graders on this roster, but not ones that are getting substantial minutes or innings yet. It's this roster that we saw last year, and a roster that we could see again next year. But right now they're trying to keep this season going, trailing 4-2. Conference champions. A lineup that is laced with juniors and a couple of sophomores. This junior class were sophomores a year ago. That one's in there for a called strike, including both Lucas and Husak, the classmate battering mates. Husak flying out a moment ago. This is Lucas batting here. She's the 2 hardest parts away from a cycle. Today she's got a single and a double. She singled her first time up, doubled her last time to the plate on a line shot to dead center. Now she's a triple and a home run away from the cycle. But may only get one more at bat. She's going to get a walk here. So a 5-pitch walk to Lucas. She'll head down to first base. And Dillinger will be to the plate. Are they going to run? They are going to run for their catcher, Lucas, over at first. So we'll have a courtesy runner over at first base. Brought to you by IMT. Be worry free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Natalie Ramsey will step in. So Natalie Ramsey is over at first base. As the tying run comes to the plate here for North Polk. And this one is sent high in the air towards second base. And the play will be made at second base by Smith. As you see a quick conversation there between Cleaver and Dillinger. Dillinger telling Cleaver what she saw at the plates. Now it's Maddie Cleaver's opportunity. And that one's in there for a called strike. 2 outs here in the home half of the 6th inning. ADM leading over North Polk by a score of 4-2. And this one is swung on and missed. Hagedorn has 8 strikeouts so far in the game. 8 strikeouts. She's given up 4 hits, walked 2. And just one of the North Polk 2 runs have been earned. Here's the pitch. And that one's high for a ball. Van Meter and East Marshall, they await the play next as we move to Class 2A. 5A, 3A being played over on the Channel Seeds field. 4A and then 2A played here, and Class 1A will split with 1 game on both fields. We'll start with Class 2A next, a game that was supposed to start 41 minutes ago. We had an hour and a half rain delay this morning. So Van Meter and East Marshall fans, they're awaiting. If you're just tuning in, wondering where Van Meter and what East Marshall is, we're still at our 12:45 game. This one's fouled back. I'm sure you heard that one at home. We'll stay 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Thanks for joining us here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, our great friends at the Iowa Farm Bureau, our presenting sponsor of this broadcast today. Here's the set and the 1-2. This one is over towards third base. It'll get down for a foul ball. The Iowa Farm Bureau is the sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. And Iowa Farm Bureau, they believe in the Iowa girl, cultivating individuals with great character, strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership. Thanks again to the Iowa Farm Bureau. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and time is called. Momentarily, we have time called. And this one again is smacked foul down the third base side, up and out of play. Really good softball game here between conference foes in the Raccoon River. These two teams finished 1-2 in conference play this year. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And again fouled up and out of play. The third place team in this conference. See the softball coming down and hitting off on the on-deck batter, Neerum, standing on deck. That one came down and got her. Third place team in this conference, they're already in the title game. Carlisle taking down Norris Scott in the semifinal before this. It's a ball. Good job by Cleaver, not offering at it, as she let it go by. We'll have deuces on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the home half of the 6th inning. Rasmussen over at first base. Here is the 2-2 pitch, and that's ball 3. Hagedorn has pitched the entire contest. Has thrown 104 pitches in this game. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled back to the backstop. So 105 pitches now for Hagedorn. 66 strikes. 39 balls. She's faced 23 North Polk batters. Giving up just 1 earned run. Has struck out 8, 7 swinging. 1 backwards K. Has walked 2. Here's the 3-2 again. Ground ball to the second baseman. It's picked up and fired to first in time for out number 3 as Smith gets it over there in time for the out. We will head to the 7th. It's the final frame. ADM trying to add on. They lead the Comets of North Polk 4-2. More softball is next on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Back to Fort Dodge we go. North Polk and ADM. We head to the 7th inning. ADM trying to add on. They lead 4-2. And for ADM, they will send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate. It starts first with Maddie James, the left fielder. We mentioned ADM played for a state title in 2018. They lost that state title game to Des Moines Hoover by a score of 8-3, and they have not been back to play for a state title since that game in 2018. In there for a called strike. Fell to Des Moines Hoover 8-3 in that final. Since then, they missed the tournament in 2019, missed the tournament in 2020. And after missing those two tournaments, they have played in 4 straight and never been back to the title game. Their closest was a semifinal appearance in 2021, where they lost to Western Dubuque, who went on to win the state championship over Boone. As that one's fouled up on a play. That year, Boone beat Winterset, the number 1 seed. ADM lost to Western Dubuque in the semifinals after beating Clear Creek Amana in the 3-6 game. That takes us to 2022. ADM falls to North Scott in the first round and then falls to Indianola in the consolation round. This one's fouled back and up and out of play. We already talked about 2023, but just to remind you, it was a loss to Fort Dodge last year in the first round, and then a loss to Carlisle in the consolation game, in the 5th place game, finishing a tie for 6th place with Western Dubuque. North Polk also was in a consolation game last year as they lost to North Scott, the 8th seed in the first round. That one hit well to left field, and it is just foul. That was a foot away from being a home run to left field. It goes just foul. Third base umpire running out there with it and watching it go just foul. Matty James gave it a ride, but just misses that one. James has hit 2 home runs this year. Down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Husak, the pitcher. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's fouled back, and we'll do it all over again. And that brings us to this year. That brings us to this year where ADM takes down Fort Dodge. North Polk takes down Western Dubuque. They're playing here in the state semifinals. That's ball 1, misses away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Though the common theme, what have we talked about a lot? North Polk, ADM, Western Dubuque, Carlisle, North Scott, Dallas Center Grimes, Winterset, the teams that have dominated Class 4A over the last little more than a half decade, some longer. This one's a little sky high to shortstop. And the play will be made by the North Polk shortstop, Westra, the flex player in this contest. ADM trying to add on some insurance runs. They lead 4-2. North Polk trying to get to the home half of the 7th with a chance to win or tie. With a state championship and a battle with Carlisle on the line. And that one is in there for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. And this is lined past the third baseman for a base hit. Smith is on, and ADM is in business again. Olivia Wyatt will step in. Actually, we're going to have a substitution as they are going to bring in a pinch hitter. Kenzie Maxwell will be on to bat here for the Tigers of ADM. She'll be a pinch hitter, brought to you by IMT. All of our substitutions in this state tournament are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. And it'll be Kenzie Maxwell, the freshman, coming in a big opportunity. 14 hits on the year, 13 RBI. And she'll bat with 1 out here in the top half of the 7th inning in a crucial state semifinal matchup. First pitch is taken for a strike. Maxwell, the batter, a left-handed hitter for the ADM Tigers. And that one misses for a ball. Lucas quickly out of the squat. She'll send the runner back to the first base. Sun's starting to peek through again here in Fort Dodge. It's been Ever since we got past the rain and lightning delay this morning, it has been a beautiful day for high school softball. And this one's fouled back to the backstop. Ava Husak, one of the state's best. In the circle today. Has thrown 109 pitches, 72 of those 109 for strikes. But ADM has been able to get a barrel on that bat a couple of times. And that is what has got us to this 4-2 lead for the Tigers of ADM. Ground ball to the right side, it's snagged. And it'll be a 3 unassisted as Dillinger, flashing the leather, grabs that one and touches on first base. Runner will move over to second. And now the heroes so far in this game for the Tigers, other than Hagedorn with a solo shot and what she's done in the circle, but take Hagedorn out of the equation. And the hero for ADM so far in the game has been Aaliyah Johnson. Had a 2 RBI single to give ADM the lead, and they have not looked back since in the 4th inning. Had a 2 RBI single, and now she gets hit with a pitch. So Johnson will take her base, and she'll be taken out of the equation. Talari will step in. Anastasia Talari. She will bat. Aniston Talari has batted into this 9 spot. No run over at first base for Johnson. Peyton Herrick will be the pinch runner over at first base. Another IMT substitution. There you see Herrick putting her batting gloves on to run over at first base, readjusting her helmet. And you see in the bottom right-hand corner, ADM leading 4-2 over the North Polk Comets, top half of the 7th inning. Runners are at first and second. There is 2 outs. And that one will be away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Aniston Talari. And Husak will deliver. Taken for a ball. 112 pitches now for Husak, 113 with that last one. 3 runs. She has struck out 6, 3 swinging, 3 looking. Has walked 4 in the game thus far. Here's the 2-0. And that one comes inside for ball 3. So Talari takes a 3-0 count. She's the 9 spot hitter. And Smith stands on deck. She'll bat next if Talari is able to find a way on. Top of the order for ADM. To try to add on some insurance runs. We'll see what Talari can do. Trying to find a way on. And that one's in there for a called strike. Husak not missing with 4 of them. Only has missed with 4 pitches once in that game. That was to Hagedorn, and likely on purpose. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Here is that 3-1 pitch. Called strike 2. So Husak is back in it now. We'll have a payoff pitch. Runners are at first and second. They'll get going. 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. State semifinals in Class 4A. Somebody will play for a title tomorrow night. Here's that 3-2 payoff pitch. Ground ball to the left side. And it's bobbled and everybody's safe. Bobbled at shortstop as Westra wasn't able to come up with it. And the bases are loaded for the top of the order for the Tigers, trying to add on here in the top of the 7th. Just when you thought North Polk was going to get out of the 7th inning, got those first outs. And now with 2 outs, ADM has loaded the bases. And Cameron Smith will step in to bat with those bases loaded. Lucas having a conversation with her classmate and battery mate in the circle, Ava Husak. Lucy Lucas trying to fire up Husak and the rest of the defense. There she is. Look at her. She's trying to fire him up. Let's get this last out, ladies. That's what she's saying. And give their team a chance in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. Bases are loaded. Cameron Smith the batter here for ADM. 1 for 4 so far today. A fly out, a fielder's choice, a ground out, and a double her last time up. A double here would score some runs. The ball is behind Lucas, and 1 run will score. They're going to try to score 2 runs. 2 runs will score. Now going to third base is Talari. A wild pitch gets past Lucas, and not 1 but 2 runners will score on the wild pitch as that ball got hung up on the back netting behind home plate. And Lucas couldn't find it originally, and by the time she did, that ball was stuck on the back netting and didn't come back towards her at all. Worst case scenario, 2 runs score on a wild pitch, and Talari moves to third. It is now 6-2. ADM leading over North Polk here in the top half of the 7th inning. Still the top of the order batting. And this one's a ground ball towards the third base side. It'll be a foul ball as third baseman and runner run into each other there. Talari running and the third baseman near him. They run into each other and then quickly have a conversation in a friendly manner. And we'll set up now for the 2-2 pitch. High in the air, but foul. As that one will make its way over to the concession stand. Everybody dodging out, running out of the way of that one. That one was hit pretty well. That one was halfway to the other diamond, which is playing Class 5A. And then they'll move to Class 3A. We're playing 4A and 2A here as Van Meter and East Marshall are waiting to play. That one's inside for a ball. Now full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. No, they changed it. It's 2-2. 2-2, excuse me. Scoreboard was off. That was a 1-2 pitch that missed. 2-2 is the count. Ground ball, third base side, foul ball. You see the fans waiting on there. The Van Meter fans in blue. East Marshall fans in purple. Waiting to play next. That game was scheduled for 3. We had an hour and a half rain delay, and we've had a really good softball game, which nobody's going to complain about here between North Polk and ADM. That one gets away from Lucas again, and a third run will score on a wild pitch. 2 wild pitches have scored. What was a bases loaded situation for Cameron Smith. She came up with the bases loaded. Now she's batting with a full count and nobody on base. As 3 runs score on 2 wild pitches. And it's now 7-2 in favor of ADM. And that is ball 4. Smith will take her base. So heading over to first base is Smith. And again, we're running through the ADM order. They got to go a different route as far. They have used up everybody they can in that 2 spot. So we'll have a new hitter here as Maxwell, who came in earlier to run, she will get a chance at the plate now. So Alexis Maxwell will bat for ADM. They've used a ton of players in this spot in front of Hagedorn. They've used Stanford. Started the game with Person, and now it is Maxwell in this 2 spot. That one's a called strike. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Hagedorn on deck has been walked 3 times in this game, twice intentionally, 1 unintentionally, and then she solo home run her first time up. Called strike 3, and Husak and North Polk is out of it, but not before the damage gets done. ADM adds on 3 runs, and they lead 7-2. North Polk will need 5 when we come back, but they've got the power to do so. We'll see if they can against Hagedorn next on the IGHSAU Digital Network.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Fort Dodge, Iowa, the host of the IGHSAU State Softball Championships. And right now on the verge of ADM playing for a state title for the first time since 2018. Lost in the title game in 2018, haven't been back since. They are 3 outs away from returning to take on their conference foe, Carlisle, in that state title. And we've had 2 straight balls to start off the at-bat. It's Neerum. It's 7-8-9. So if anybody gets on, we'll flip the lineup card back over to the top of the order for North Polk. Neerum, Osborne, and Kaylin Cleaver are the 3 that are due up. And this one is ripped up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So Quinn Neerum, the third baseman, comes in, and she's going to fire up her team over at first base. And she's asking if they're going to run for her. She's going to run. So they're going to keep her in. They're going to keep Neerum in to run over at first base. And now Osborne will bat. Lauren Osborne, the right fielder, here in the 8th spot. And a ground ball, third base side is a foul ball. North Polk, they're going to have to bat a few. And time is going to be called, and now they are going to bring in a runner. So they let a couple of pitches go by, figure out who they want to run. And they will have a runner over at first base for Neerum. So North Polk will bring Audrey Lucas in to run over at first base. So Audrey Lucas is a pinch runner. Brought to you by IMT. Be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. And she will run over at first base. 5 runs need to be plated for North Polk to tie this game and send us to an 8th. 6 runs to win. And that one's fouled. So just about everybody is going to have to come to the plate for North Polk. So you start here with the back half of your order. You get a couple of them on, then you can bring the top of the order up, and you just got to go through your top to your middle. And at that point, you'd be scoring a couple of runs. Here's the 1-2. But that's not an easy task against Lauren Hagedorn, who has been phenomenal today. 8 strikeouts, just 5 hits, 2 walks, and 1 earned run. She has left 4 North Polk runners on base. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. Hagedorn finds her 9th. And ADM is 2 outs away from a state championship game appearance. ADM finished 2nd in the Raccoon River Conference. Carlisle finished 3rd. Those 2 could be fighting for a state title tomorrow night. And that one's in there for a called strike. But don't count this North Polk team out just yet. They have scored a ton of runs this season against some really good teams. And that one's in there for a called strike. Now 0-2. Cleaver down on the count, 0-2. She's the 9-hole hitter. Top of the order is up next. Called strike 3 as Cleaver goes down looking. Strikeout number 10 for Hagedorn. And ADM is 1 out away from a state championship appearance. They played and lost to Hoover in 2018. Will they return to the Channel Seeds Championship field tomorrow night to take on Carlisle? This one popped up in the air. It could be it. It is! ADM, the Tigers, will play for a state championship as Olivia Wynot makes the play on the first pitch. And the Tigers will celebrate their way to the state title game against Carlisle tomorrow night. 4th straight year at state. The last 2 years they've lost both games in the first round and the consolation. They played in the semifinals 3 years ago, back this year, and now will play for a state championship for the first time since 2018. Coach Lindsay Stanford and the ADM Tigers will advance on in the bracket. We'll see who's going to do it. It's Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith will do the advancing. As you see her there, number 11. There she is, Cameron Smith, and the ADM Tigers will play for a title. ADM scores 7 runs on 7 hits. They left 10 runners on base in this game and still are able to come away with a victory. Well, that was an exciting one. We have more softball to come as we move to Class 2A. East Marshall and Van Meter will come up next. You see East Marshall making their way onto the field right now. Randy Pollock, who started the game with us, Justin, our executive director, and everybody else that made this broadcast possible. I'm Zarin Egestal saying so long. For now, we'll talk to you again in just a bit from the Iowa Central Field in Fort Dodge.